Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face. And a salute to the American race. Oh, boy.
Sorry, I had a lot of phlegm in my throat. I love how as a society, we have all basically accepted that even though we all know that the morning routine, get up with me, like introduction is always staged and like fake, but we still just like accept it. Like this is how I actually woke up this morning. Joke's on you guys, I also had to set up a camera for that. What would be the alternative though? You know, like setting up a camera, like recording you sleep, and then like you just like trim off the one section of you waking up and you're like, guys, this is real. This is legitimate. Because if it was actually a video recording of me waking up, like going to sleep and waking up, it would literally just be me. Me. Phone. Pokemon Go. Aren't I just like the realest YouTuber? Aren't I just like literally the most legitimate, like just so hashtag relatable? Like I am like the epitome. Emma Chamberlain, you guys need a new one because she is like a model now. She's voguing like constantly. She has that beautiful house with the kitchen that I really freaking want. And now we need a new relatable queen. I am willing to sit on the throne. I'm willing to take it. Anyway, let's do a Q&A. So while I know everybody's favorite pastime is sitting here listening to me sit here and complain about literally everything and nothing and slowly go insane, however, we can't do that today. We can't let ourselves get sidetracked because it is 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning where I have work in about 2 hours. So we are going to actually do things. I've already drank water. This is not an ad, but these things were like $1.50 at my Target. What a steal. Like it even has this like handheld thing. Anyway, I have work today. And because I have work today, that means that I need to actually get my bum from this chair, lift it, and do all the way to the communal restrooms. I'm in a dorm, guys. I don't know if you could tell. Anyway, communal restrooms, take a shower, sing, because you can hear every time somebody sings in the shower stalls, and I like being the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like being the voice that like infiltrates your like morning poop, you know? Like I have been in the bathrooms like just trying to pee, like just let me pee, girl, and I hear like the most angelic, like there's like a siren calling me from the stall behind me, and I'm like, I have to like stop my pee every time like she like sings, because I'm like, I don't want to dirty that, you know? Like it's like God coming down and he's looking at me while I'm peeing. That's how it feels like. And I want to be that for somebody else. You know it's a ButtaTime video when she overshares. When she goes off in a tangent and like just starts talking about like random things. And then when she goes into a tangent about the way that she starts talking about random things to distract her from like the actual reality of things that are happening in her life. So basically, we are gonna get in the shower now. I tripped over the Brita. I just Britted that. Anyway, that is such a freaking like metaphor for my life. Hello again. Don't mind the noise. I put in some oatmeal because I'm hungry. So hot. So hot. I'm eating oatmeal and answering questions. I'm gonna take this off just because. Why did I look prettier bald? Should I go bald? Okay, so first things first, we always start with the toner. I use the Dickinson's Perfecting Original Witch Hazel Toner. It's just nice. It's just gentle. I used to like do like a pad or a cotton ball. Now I'm too lazy and broke, so I just do this. It probably does the same thing. I don't know. My skin is low-key like freaking out right now. So we're not gonna worry about it. Anyway, let's get into the first question. So I'm just gonna take these in like the order that I saw them. Somebody asked me, what is my favorite muffin flavor? This is a really hard question actually, because I love muffins. I love anything that is like, como se dice, like, sweet. I love anything lemon. So lemon poppy seed, definitely like one of my favorites. But then I also have like blueberry muffins. I love a good classic blueberry muffin. Those two definitely tied for me. That being said, I don't think I've really had like many muffins in my life. Like I feel like muffins are like a very rare occasion food for me to have. My school used to have like muffins every Friday. The cooking class would sell this is moisturizer that also has like an SPF in it, because I've heard somewhere that like sunscreen is important, even though like, okay, it's kind of sunny outside, but it is like the winter months. So yeah, I just like rub that in my face. I don't know. Anyway, our school used to always have muffins for sale, and like they would usually have like a cinnamon muffin or like this chocolate chip muffin or lemon poppy seed or blueberry. And let me just say, I hate chocolate chip muffins. I'm just not a big chocolate person. So that, and you have like the consistency of the sponge of the muffin itself, and then you have like these hard little like candies in them. It just, they never like melted or anything. It was just weird. So I never liked that, because I feel like with the blueberry muffins, they're like squishy with the squish, and then you'll have like that shot of like juicy goodness, and it just mixes so well. But like chocolate in muffins, no. Somebody else asked me, isn't toothpaste just mouth soap? Yes. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? None. Just because you can do something doesn't mean the woodchuck will want to do it, and that's perfectly okay. Just because you have the opportunity to do something doesn't mean you have to live up to that opportunity, unless he feels like it. Okay, now we're kind of getting into the deep questions. Somebody asked me, how much of a scam is college? Cue the crying video from yesterday. I feel like it's like a universally known fact at this point, like at least in America, how much of a scam college really is. Like we all know it, and yet we're all here. It's kind of like, you know, like the morning routine. We all know it's fake, and yet we continue to like gobble those videos up. I'm sitting here in this dorm room that costs like the entirety of my bank account, legitimately. And is it worth it? No. Especially like the idea of like gen eds. That is such bullshit. Maybe it's because I'm a creative writing major or whatever, but I just feel like all the classes I'm taking are just like the same level of quality of classes that I took in high school. And I didn't have to pay for high school. I went to a public high school. But the classes I'm taking here, they feel the same. I'm able to do the same amount of work and get away with it. Maybe it would be different if I was like majoring in freaking engineering or something. I'll give it that benefit of doubt. But the gen eds that I'm taking, everybody's in there to fulfill the gen ed. Nobody gives a shit about the actual class. And it's not like we're learning anything that we need to know in the future. Like the best class I feel like I'm taking are with my major, which is good. It's very nice that I'm having the opportunity to take these classes. But in the same breath that I say that, like I could have been taking these classes for half the price. I could have went to community college and it would have been probably the same experience. And honestly, I feel like the big selling point of college itself is kind of just being out of the house for a lot of people, just being able to explore your own pathways, being able to kind of get in this like college atmosphere. But if you don't, like I'm not even enjoying the atmosphere. Like I love living by myself. I love like kind of being independent, like that aspect I like, but I don't live by myself. I live with a roommate. I love the ability to like do all these things if I really wanted to. Like I could go outside and like do stuff, but also I can't because I'm paying for this school and I'm working 2 jobs to minimize my debt. I just don't think it's worth it. So how big of a scam is college? A very big scam. Go to Europe or community college. I always just wanted to go to like a bigger school because I was like, I just want to have the experience. Like I valued the experience more than I actually valued like the cost or like, you know, like the payout. But now I'm not even able to live the experience. So Then somebody asked about my opinion on the afterlife. Deep question, really deep question. I don't care. It's so hard for me to like say that to people because so many people care. So many people are like, well, I just want to know what's gonna happen after I die. Here's my opinion. By the time that I'm supposed to worry about like what's gonna happen after, I'm gonna be close to death anyway, and death is just like a natural part of life. It's gonna happen. So if it happens now, if it happens 50 years in the future, eventually I won't be here anymore. That's just a fact of life. Unless we discover like some crazy like vampirism or something like that. And then we have like this idea of religion, and the afterlife is very much entangled with kind of like this idea of heaven, hell, reincarnation, like all these different possibilities depending on like which religion you really follow. I'm not a particularly religious person. I grew up Christian. I still kind of like half believe in God, but like I identify as more agnostic at this point because heaven, hell, whatever, the moral remains the same. Be a good person, because I don't want to spend the entirety of my life being like a shitty person, because that just doesn't sound fun because I'm gonna die in the end, you know? And like what's the point of living if you can't be happy or like make others happy? This maybe goes into another question that I got, which is like, what is the meaning of life? And I believe that the meaning of life is finding your own meaning through your interactions with other people. So like taking in that meaning is about life. Like it's about living life. It's about not really fearing something you can't control, but rather focusing on the things that you can control to make your life better. So that being said, my opinion on the afterlife is it could go either way. Like it could be I die and complete darkness, complete loss of consciousness, whatever. But at that point, I can't control it. At that point, I wouldn't care because I'd be dead. I feel like so many people like kind of fear this idea of like the big like black abyss. Like what if it just none of it matters? So what if none of it matters? You're living it now. Like, so what if none of it matters when you're dead? Because you have to make it matter when you are alive. And that's kind of like the whole point of this. It's finding the meaning. It's tirelessly searching, trying to build connections, trying to stabilize your feet in this wretched earth, you know, trying to make an impression, a mark, be something. So the afterlife really doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I could die today and whatever, I'd be dead. Unless I'm a ghost. That would suck. Well, no, I would make the most of it because I'm an optimist. Maybe I should actually start on the makeup. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Camo Concealer Matte Primer. Just gonna cover up my spots. Go under. I just do like a little dot because I'm just gonna like spread it anyway, and then lifting things, or I try to. I don't really know like the proper placement. I just know that it's supposed to direct everything up. Next question. When do you feel the happiest and the lowest? Good question. I feel like I feel the most genuinely happy when I am with people where I feel like I don't have to put on a show, or like when I'm able to have deep conversations. Like this is so fun for me because I genuinely just love talking about really philosophical ideologies, like just sharing like opinions and stuff. Like I love this, especially because nobody else can disagree with me because I'm talking to a camera. I'm happy when it's like a really good day out and I go for a walk or like ride a bike. Those are really happy days. Or I'm happiest when I'm with friends and people I love, and the people I love are happy. And I'm happiest when I write something and I feel really proud of it, or when I read something and it's just really enjoyable, or when I watch like one of my favorite movies. Like those kind of things make me happy. I don't know, like when I am my happiest, I would say it's just like a combination of all those things, you know? And the lowest, I would say, is just like the opposite of those things. Like when I feel like I am kind of stifled or like trapped. I don't know, when I have like really bad like anxiety or like am depressed, like yesterday. Low. That was a low for me. But it was also a high because afterwards, you know, I picked myself back up and I felt good again. But yeah, no, those kind of moments are not good for me. What is hard to love about yourself but easy to love in others? I would say, as just like a kind of broad answer to this, humanity. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm really dumb. If I could go the physical route, which I will go, like I think that I have a lot of insecurities about the way I look, right? I feel like, you know, we all do. If you look like this. But like the things that I am insecure about on myself, I don't notice or I like on other people. And I've like noticed this about me and I'm like, why am I like that? Like, why can't I just like love myself and stop kind of like, I don't know, hating myself for things that I've noticed on other people and I really, really like. So it's kind of like that way where I will mess up, I'll make a mistake, and it's so easy for me to forgive other people for things that make them human. Like if somebody like snaps at me because they're like in a bad mood or something, like it is so easy for me to be like, they are in a bad mood, like justify them and justify their reasons. And then when I do something like that, I will beat up myself for years. Like I have flashbacks where I'm like, why did I say that? And it's because, baby, you were hurting. But like I just feel like I'm not allowed to have these emotional outbursts that I allow other people to give to me. I feel like there's like more to this question, like there's more that I could answer about this question, because I just feel like it is so much easier for me to be compassionate to other people than it is to be to myself. If you were feeling that and you wanted confirmation, like no, that's definitely something we all feel. You know, you accept the love you think you deserve. So if you think you don't deserve your own self-love, then you're not gonna get it. What makes a relationship long lasting? I love relationship questions because I personally have never been in one. I don't think there is ever going to be like one answer that you can answer to this question and be like, if you know this, then all your relationships are going to work out, because that's just not how that works. My biggest thing is know yourself before you try to get somebody else to know you, or love yourself before you try to love others. You know, it's like that thing where you can't take care of others if you're not willing to take care of yourself. If you like are a mother and you are like starving yourself in order to feed your children, eventually you're going to die. You know, like you can't continue to give and not give anything to yourself. So I will say that is probably like the main thing. I will say I've seen so many people get in relationships because they don't understand themselves, and I get it. Like if you're suffering, if you're hurt, like you have the right to be happy, but also I think that you will be happier once you figure your shit out. Like that's my biggest relationship advice to anybody. It's figure yourself out. Know yourself before you try to involve somebody else in your mess, or you try to get involved in somebody else's mess. Because there have been so many times where, because I feel lonely, because I feel like I need to be in a relationship right now, I open myself up to people, or like I try to insert myself in these situations, and I realize I'm not ready for it. And because I'm not ready, I shouldn't be forcing anything. So make sure you're ready. Know yourself. Know what you want. But also, in that same breath, I feel like the long-lasting part, you have to be able to realize that what you want will change. And because what you want will change, so will what your partner wants is going to change. And sometimes relationships are able to kind of evolve with that same like ideology. Like communication is key. That's a big one. Like everybody always says that communication is key. And that doesn't mean like talking to somebody every single day, like just knowing what you need. Because if you're somebody who does need that constant communication, then communicate that with your partner, because they're not mind readers. You know, like we're not mind readers. We're still learning each other, whatever. Give yourself and your partner grace. Give yourself and your partner room to make mistakes and talk it out, and be accepting to criticism, but also be willing to give criticism in return. Like it is a very much like two-way street. Like you should be able to communicate with your partner. If you're not able or comfortable to communicate with your partner, you shouldn't be with them, or you should get that fixed, because comfortability is really important in relationship if you want it to make it long lasting. You see all the like really long lasting relationships, or at least the ones that I've been witness to, have been because you've been friends first and you put your friendship first. Because another thing, respect is so important in relationship. It's one of like my like big things. Like if I don't feel respected in a relationship, it's never gonna work for me. If I don't respect in return, it's never gonna work. It's like literally blizzarding outside and I have to walk to work. I'm crying. Anyway, we have to have this mutual understanding of each other. And if we don't have that, then, you know, what's the point of continuing on? And I think with cheating, like that is a big thing. Like, don't settle. Cheating is a big, like, respect thing for me. Like, if you cheat on me, you obviously don't respect me. You don't respect our relationship. You don't respect my feelings. It's a no. It's immediate no. So know your boundaries. Know what you value in a relationship. Know yourself. But also know that that can change and that can evolve. I saw a tweet the other other day where they were talking about how this person got in a divorce and it was a happy moment because they realized that they changed in that relationship. They both like have evolved past it, and there is no point in continuing to be stuck in that relationship. And I think that is such a powerful sentiment, because even though it's hard, even though you love that person, relationships don't always have to last. You don't have to force it. And I'm not saying like break up with your boyfriends if you like feel like a slight like, oh, talk it out first, like figure out what's best for you. Especially if you're in a marriage, you should be each other's like best friends. You should be each other's partners. You should be comfortable enough to like discuss your feelings without feeling bad about it. Anyway, love you to yourselves, love others, give yourself grace, give others grace. That's my relationship advice. Very long-winded, but yeah. The next question was, what is the meaning of life? But I kind of already answered that. So the final question is, how do you feel about corn? I love corn. And this is corn meaning corn. Like not like the TikTok filter version where people try to say porn, but they can't say porn because they get like censored or whatever. No, this is corn. Actual corn. Sweet corn. I'm from the Midwest. I'm a Midwest girly. I'm going to the University of Iowa. I love corn. Corn reminds me of happy days. Like my favorite meal of all time, reminds me of summer, is a BLT with a sweet corn on the cob. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I would eat that shit up. Anyway, that's basically it. I've been talking and eating oatmeal for a very long time, and it is now 20 minutes until I have to leave for work. So thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know how I'm gonna edit it. If you're still here, thank you. It was a long one. Love you guys. Oh shoot, I forgot the one question that I asked myself, like, where has I been? Here's the answer. I have been busy. I have just been like trying to adapt to a new environment, trying to get all my ducks in a row, and honestly, making a video, I just don't have time to edit it, film it, whatever. Also, I live with somebody. Most of my videos consist of me just being alone and like entertaining myself in my room. I can't do that anymore because I have somebody in here who does not want to be disturbed, you know, like I'm not like, hey, like, can I make a video right now? Like, that's embarrassing. So what happens after this video, I just kind of wanted to do something like this. I want to get back in the grind because it does make me happy. Like, filming these videos definitely makes me happy. So I'm hoping that I will be able to continue, but if I'm not, I'll see you in a few years. Thanks everybody for their questions. I really appreciate it. Even if I had to bully you to get them, love you. Love you very much. Okay, so I have to go to work now, but here is the makeup. This is the reveal. Very nice.
We want some bombastic, romantic, fantastic lover. She call me Mr. Bombastic, fully fantastic. Put me on me box, she says I'm Mr. Rowe.